So our family has been, well, I'll start out.
Okay.
My grandfather came from China in the 1920s, wasn't it, about, I think, and came over to this country and came into Stockton area, the Bay Area, and actually started growing potatoes
In Stockton?
in Stockton.
Okay.
And I don't know how many crops of potatoes did he grow there, Dad?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. But anyway, he kind of went broke there like potato farmers do. And then actually they moved to Fallon, Nevada. And there was a new irrigation project there, and he started growing potatoes there. And then the bugs and nematodes were really hard, and kind of didn't work out very good there. So then he went to Alturas, California, which is down here about 70 miles, and opened a Chinese restaurant.
Oh, complete business
Yeah.
change.
Yeah. And during that time, there was a salesman from here that was going down there, that was from here but was going down to Alturas to call on farmers down there, and told our grandfather, Sam Wong is his name, that they were growing potatoes up here. So he kind of pretty much had potatoes on his mind. So he ended up coming up here and growing potatoes. What, he grew 2 crops of potatoes while they still lived in Alturas.
So he tried 4 times to start. This 4th time was a charm?
Actually, about 3rd time maybe.
3rd time?
3rd time, yeah. 3rd
Okay.
time, yeah.
Wow.
So
And
that's kind of how we got here.
okay.
Yeah. And like Dad was born in Sacramento during that time frame there. And then how many brothers and sisters did you have?
Oh,
Let's see, there's
I think 8 of us all together.
yeah, 3 brothers and 4 sisters, huh?
Yeah.
And then you took on the farm after your father?
Pardon?
You took on the farm after your father out of all your brothers and sisters?
Yeah, we kind of operated in partnership for a few years until he died, you know,
Okay.
and then,
Because the business was called Sam Wong and Son.
yeah.
Oh,
And Dad was the son.
okay.
So
I see. Okay, so then you told me the timeline.
So the timeline really, like, they came up to this country, well, just backing up a little bit. So he ended up, after he grew a couple of potato crops here, they ended up moving up here and buying some ground and farming up here.
So
and
then,
sold the restaurant down.
how big is the operation now? Like, it started out with just 2 crops, and then how big is it now?
So, yeah, I don't know how many acres they, started
Started with?
with. How many acres of potatoes would you say they started with then? They started with-
I can't remember exactly, it varied from year to year, but it's around between 50 and 100 acres, you know, at that time,
of potatoes.
which is a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
because they did it all by hand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they planted it. Did you plant it by hand then?
No, they had potato planters, but there were single row,
Right.
same principle, but
Single row. Yeah. But they had to harvest them all by hand.
Wow, wow.
So they would dig them up and put them on top of the ground, and have
and then pick them up by
workers
hand.
go through and
Oh
pick
my
'em.
goodness.
Like you'd drag a potato sack between your legs and then throw the potatoes in there.
Wow. So 100 acres was a lot. 150? That was
Oh, yeah.
plenty.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
now, now my wife and I bought the farm from Mom and Dad, and the potato packing facility, and we farm right now 1,100 acres of potatoes.
Wow. Not by hand.
Not by hand. Not too much by hand.
That's good.
But yeah, so, but
So then, what makes the basin a better place to grow than, like, is it just the soil or the conditions, or like better than any other place in Oregon
or the world.
or the world?
So really, the Klamath Basin is pretty unique because, first of all, short growing season, short growing season, high elevation, and good summer weather. Warm days and cool nights. Potatoes like warm days and cool nights.
So it's perfect.
It is perfect. Yeah, we do have frost, which is a problem here, but we're prepared for it. We know how to handle it, and we put water on before it freezes, and that protects the potato plants.
Okay.
So we're pretty good that way. But yeah, basically with the short growing season, limited pest pressures. We don't have all the pest problems that a lot of people do in other potato growing areas, because potatoes, it can get a lot of diseases.
Yeah.
Above ground and below ground. So
You have to fight a lot of different bugs and diseases just in general because of the plant.
right, yeah, and the tubers are of course in the soil.
Right.
So you have nematodes, which are little microscopic bugs, and they get in there and cause bumps and problems, and so
Okay.
we have a little bit of that here.
Is it because of the short growing season, then it just eliminates those things so they can't grow, or is it just because they don't like the area, or?
A lot of the pests aren't really here because of that cold weather, short growing season. You know, they can't get going in the time frame it takes to get going. So,
Okay.
they're not a factor in the production of potatoes. So, ourselves right now, we're doing 75% of our production is organic.
Oh wow.
10 years ago, it was like 0. So we've transitioned, and this is a really good area for organic production.
Are you gonna try and transition the whole production to organic, or are you gonna just keep 75%, or?
We'll probably be around that range. We still have some customers that grandfather and dad had when they were running the business. So here's a story. So grandfather came over from China with what was the Chang's name? Daniel Chan, or Thomas Chan. Anyway, there were some Chinese people that came over from China, and they.
Well, Tom and Dan, they were born here, but it was the father that they came over about the same time.
From China.
Yeah.
And they worked for a produce company in the Bay and in Sacramento, and eventually they bought it. He bought it. So during that process, we were selling potatoes down to this place called General Produce in Sacramento. And so, being Chinese and from the same area, they kind of knew each other a little bit. So they had been doing a lot of business. Because we would grow the potatoes here, pack them, send them down to there, and then they would sell them. So that customer, I don't know when the actual customer started, maybe in the late 30s?
Yeah. Late 30s.
Late 30s. And we still service that customer today.
Wow, that's wonderful. That is wonderful.
And they're in their third generation, people that are running their company.
So a family business supplying another family business. That's awesome. That's really neat.
Yeah.
So you export and sell your potatoes all over the U.S., all over the world, wherever they'll be sold, or?
We do. We're all fresh market potatoes.
Okay.
And for the most part, most of it is West Coast markets.
Okay.
But our organic stuff has been going more nationally. So we're going. One of our biggest customers is Whole Foods, which they're national.
Right.
So our potatoes are going East Coast, it's Florida, Texas, and Midwest, and everywhere in between. So.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And then besides that, we do service a lot of West Coast between California and Oregon. At Washington, there's a lot of interest for organic potatoes on the West Coast, more so than anywhere else in the country. And then also we're selling some organic potatoes into Taiwan.
Okay.
So Taiwan's been an interesting market. It's actually a pretty mature market for potatoes. So, and then we're currently looking into selling some to Vietnam, Hong Kong, Macau.
So branching out into the more Pacific area.
Pacific Rim countries. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Can you tell me some of the nutritional values of potatoes?
Probably so.
What was that now?
Can you tell me some of the nutritional values of a potato?
So a potato has more potassium than a banana.
Than a banana. And an avocado?
I don't know about an avocado.
But the banana is the big one.
Banana. And then it has, I'm not sure the total figure. It has a lot of vitamin C too.
Okay.
But I'm not sure how much. I wouldn't
Compare it to anything.
Yeah, there is a comparison, but I can't remember it offhand.
Okay.
But and people think of potatoes like starchy vegetable
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of carbs. The difference between that, the potato carb, it's a good carb.
As opposed to like a chip or
No, there's good carbs and there's bad carbs. So the carbs that and I can't remember the term for it, but simplified carb or something. The potato has a simplified carb that the body can absorb real good. And where other carbs like maybe pasta or something like that is the other kind, and the body can't absorb it as well.
Okay.
So
it's lots of nutritional value.
there's a great nutritional value.
Just the
And
basic
some of the
of it.
potatoes we're growing are like purple or red, have a lot of antioxidants in them. So they give you some benefits from your body benefits from that standpoint too. So
Okay. So on that, you have purple, and you said red, and are those the only varieties you have, or you have more?
no, we have a
Whole bunch.
whole bunch.
Do we even want to go there, or?
I can give you a list.
Okay.
There's a whole bunch.
There's a lot. Okay.
Yeah. We grow about 14 different varieties.
Wow.
Potatoes. Yeah. So. Yeah.
That's cool. And so then, when you plant a potato, is that potato from the last year, or how does that work?
The seed potatoes?
Yes.
So we actually buy seed from a seed grower.
Okay.
And then plant that seed into the ground, and then it grows a plant. And the reason we do that is because potato plants can get viruses and diseases and stuff real easy. So we plant potatoes that are like generation, like seed. When seed starts, it's nuclear, which comes out of a greenhouse, and that's nuclear. And then it's planted G1, and so that's the second year in the field, and then G2, G3, G4. So the closer you can get to nuclear, the less disease problems you have.
Would make sense.
So if you planted a crop that had G3 in it, and so and then it comes out G4 commercially, but we don't treat it the same. Seed-wise, you want to make sure you keep all the viruses and diseases out of it, so you don't treat it the same as you would a conventional crop.
Okay.
So that crop that you're bringing out is going to have some disease factors. That's why you don't want to take that seed and replant it.
Right, because it will just keep on getting worse and spreading more disease.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Just a simple curiosity, what is your favorite way to eat a potato?
That's that.
What's your favorite way to eat a potato?
What?
What's your favorite way to eat a potato, Dad? What way do you like it?
Or
the
do you
best?
just don't even eat them?
Oh, I'd say French fries, you know.
French fries. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Because it's so common, you know.
Yeah.
I like baked potatoes too, but they're not as convenient, you know, as French fries. So.
That's true, yeah.
Roasting is good,
Roast potato, like just
Yeah.
in the oven, or?
especially like, yeah, you can roast them in the oven or barbecue or,
Oh,
yeah. Because all you have to do is like tin foil, olive oil, little potatoes, roast them.
oh, sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds real good. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for letting me.
So where's
up
this
the
going
evening.
and what's it doing?
It's for Ag in the Classroom. You don't have to.
Oh,